Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Cyber Advisor Live here on Facebook. I'm blessed today because my partner's back from Honduras from his wonderful trip.
So that means our show today is not going to suck.
Didn't suck last week. It's kind of lonely though. It was rather lonely without.
Did you mention I was in Honduras?
I did last week.
All right, so I couldn't.
Well, wait. I want to tell you something.
What?
My mom said she called after the show last week and said that we should never do a show solo, either by yourself or myself. We're way better together.
I'm sure if it was just me, she would have said it was okay.
There we go. I was trying to give us a compliment. Never mind.
Yeah, so I didn't get a chance to watch last week's show. I'm still trying to play catch up right now. But when I was in Honduras, they had Wi-Fi in the hotel, but I couldn't figure out the Wi-Fi password. And there was like an open Wi-Fi hotspot, but I didn't want to sign on to that.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
Yeah, so I just used my cellular data.
It's kind of dodgy.
Yeah.
A little dodgy.
Yeah.
I did talk about Honduras, and
Cool.
Again, I want to say how proud we are of you to go down there. And,
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Did a lot of work down there, working with some of the locals, installing some water treatment facilities there.
Right.
So it's a lot of fun. And now we're back to IT world
We are.
and talking about data security.
We are this month. It's Cybersecurity Awareness Month.
Yep.
All month.
Yep.
It is. So you want to start? Or
Yeah, I've got the headline for the article I wanted to talk about.
Okay.
The headline: Hacker plants keylogger devices on company systems, faces 12 years in jail.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah, so this guy actually had hardware keyloggers. He's a 45-year-old man from Montville, New Jersey.
Let's tell everybody what a keylogger does.
Well, yeah, I will. One
Okay,
second. So in February of 2017, it was determined that he had installed keylogging devices on the company computers. So what a keylogger does is it logs the keystrokes and it intercepts them from your keyboard basically to your actual computer itself. There's different mechanisms for keylogging. Some of them are hardware related, where it'll actually put a device between the keyboard and the hardware itself, so it's innocuous to you. You just looks like an adapter. And the other way you can do that is with software applications.
Well, what's the importance of the keylogger, James?
Well, really what the keylogger does, so it's logging all your keystrokes. At the end of the day, if you really think about it, if we took all the keys that you hit on your keyboard, one button at a time, and we logged all those keys, we're going to be able to see that you have you may put in like your email address and password, and then you may turn around and you may put in you may put your email address, and then right after that you may turn around and put your password in, and we're going to see that back to back. So I may see I'll use an example like for me. I'm not going to use my email address here, but let's just say it's James at I don't know, AOL.com, James at AOL.com, and then I hit the enter key or the tab key, and then I put my password in. It's going to capture all that key data. So eventually what I'll be able to do is I'll be able to see what websites were visited and typed into the address bar. Then I'll see the email address that was put in, and I'll see the password, and I've got all that data raw so I can see it, unencrypted right there.
So I'm going into your bank account.
Yeah. So he put these on their company computers. And it was installed in February of 2017. In March of 2017, he wrote a script and was able to exfiltrate that data out of the company. And he basically stayed under the radar until April of 2018, when their company's IT security team found it. So it's just something to be aware of. I mean, this kind of stuff happens. It's social engineering at its best.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And then it's not, to do that, it's not hard. I mean, you can you can download programs that do it. You can watch YouTube videos to learn how to do it.
And so here's the thing, right? Like if you look at that instance, it was 10. He actually had credentials and access to thousands of personal documents belonging to 10 employees in the company, and then he had. When you looked at human resources, he had access to human resources records for 50 senior management employees. So, I mean, we're not talking about a massive company. I mean, it's probably medium-sized, but 50 senior managers and 10 employees. So,
sure.
So yeah, he was able to pull all that data down just from his keylogger.
Wow.
Yep. So right now, he's got 3 charges: 2 for getting information from protected systems and 1 for aggravated identity theft. So it's amazing the kind of information he had access to. And we think about not just when you think about your HR files, you get access probably to people's bank records,
Date of birth, social
date of birth,
security.
their payroll information. He had for the senior managers, I'm guessing he probably had some access to employee data in terms of understanding what compensation was or what kind of different, let's say employment history were for employees. So
Right.
a lot of very critical proprietary stuff.
Well, let's drill down a little bit. I'd like to. So, I think a good plan for your network infrastructure is to restrict access. I know there's a lot of companies that we deal with that have no pretty much restrictions at all.
Right.
Here we do.
Right.
I mean, depending on what your level is within our company is contingent on what files and drives you can access. And so that's a good best practice.
Well, or the other best practice too, having an understanding as to what programs are installed on computers on the network.
Oh, absolutely.
We're able to do that through two different mechanisms. One's a manual tool that we run to pull that information, but our automated tool on a weekly basis is pulling an audit of software packages. And so even if this is a software related key logging package, it would be identified in that actual scan.
Sure.
The other thing too is that it's USB. If this was a USB driven device, our Sophos AV would have caught it. It would have actually identified the USB device on the network. So
absolutely.
So I mean, there's a lot of ways to approach this that can that if this is your organization, this wouldn't happen.
I think a good takeaway though is really, like I said, I think we run into a lot of businesses that don't have any of those best practices in place or policies in place.
Right.
So, really, if you're a business owner or an executive management within your company, you should really know what policies you have in place to kind of help protect yourself.
Right.
So
let's go with yours now. What'd you get?
So everybody, all of my Apple Mac friends, hi.
How many is that? Like 5?
Yeah. So that's not true. I mean, we have a lot of people that enjoy Macs, use Macs.
He only has 5 friends anyway, so it's all his friends have Macs.
It's all my friends. You're my friend. You don't have a Mac.
We're work friends.
Oh, we're work friends. Oh, okay.
He's gonna give me a hard time about that after the video.
I'm gonna give him serious. So I wanted to say that they really tout about how they're so secure that they can't get hacked. They can't, But an article came up that North Korea actually, who's great. Hi. Love North Korea.
Yeah, don't say anything about North Korea. It could be bad.
It could be bad. Will we get banned?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So North Korea actually, there a lot of their state workers. That's all they do is they try to hack things.
Right.
So right now they're hacking Mac computers.
Right.
And tying that in with cryptocurrency.
Wow.
To then use Mac computers to steal cryptocurrency, because cryptocurrency is a huge thing right now.
Right.
And a lot of people have use cryptocurrency and buy cryptocurrency, and that's what they're doing right now. So, all your Mac users out there that think you're absolutely safe, or those business owners that only use Macs, that think they can't get any bad things on their Mac, should be aware that that's not true. It's not.
Right.
In fact, last month, James, too, remember we had another one that was a Mac exploit. So it's not the catch-all, safe-all that people think it is. So I thought that was kind of interesting.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's when you look at what they're doing right now with cryptocurrency, especially in North Korea, a lot of it stems from that whole idea that they can't get access to regular currency.
Right.
Billions.
It's billions of dollars.
Yeah. There was an article about Cyber Command. It was probably really recent, but in the last month or so, Cyber Command over at McDill was talking about how they were using basically ATM skimming. ATM scanning technology, to actually skim, not credit, skim like microcents off of ATMs throughout Africa.
Oh, I heard that. Just a couple cents. They do it to a ton of people.
Right. In the currency conversion, they do it to a ton of people, and then it adds up, and they're using. And then what they were doing was they were taking that and they were actually converting it to cryptocurrency.
Right.
So it's just interesting what's out there and how that all exists, and it's everywhere in our world.
Speaking a little more about cryptocurrency, we don't really do it here in the U.S., but I know over in Europe, I mean, they actually have Bitcoin ATMs. I mean, so and they take Bitcoin as a regular currency. So it's something that over the years, it's continuing to progress.
Right. I know right now cybersecurity awareness. So one of the things I'm going to go ahead and kind of leave us with as we talk about this is, and we can call this your millennial tip of the day if we want to.
Okay.
I had this come up in a conversation with a client. They were saying they didn't understand why people are so trusting of just downloading something off the internet. They just go and they click download and they say, oh, I'm going to open it and see what it is.
Yeah.
And I've talked about it a couple of times. I was talking with Chris, our owner, about this too. The millennial generation's grown up with the Napsters and the Kazas and LimeWire, and they grew up in this generation of like, okay, I can download this MP3 illegally and get free music, right? Mm-hmm. Which then turned into, okay, I can download this program illegally and get a free program that I need. With this absolute like trust, like, oh, it's okay, it's on Napster. Oh, it's all right. I got it from LimeWire. There's nothing bad out there.
I got it from
eTorrent. Yeah, I got it from wherever. And so what ended up happening now, I think you're seeing this in the business workplace, is that a lot of people are downloading files with a certain level of trust. They look at a website, they say, oh, the website's it's coming off a website. It's got to be trustworthy.
Right.
I mean, bad people can't get websites. And so I think that's something to keep in mind as you're looking at your IT security practices. A lot of what you're dealing with now, yes, there's software components out there to deal with this, and yes, we have software and hardware solutions for that. But the other part of that too is user education. Your users are doing this right now because they grew up in a generation that downloaded files.
It was okay.
Right, it was okay. It was the internet enabled generation.
Yep.
And I think that's where that all comes from. So
I do too.
And whether you're looking at cybersecurity education, I know we do Fish Threat as an example for email phishing attempts, but it's just something that came up this week. I mean, literally on Monday, I was just talking about this with a client, and we were trying to figure out, why do people do this? And it was like a light bulb just went off. So,
sure.
So yeah.
Tasha's playing with the wrong mouse. She doesn't get that the mouse on her laptop is different from the mouse for our monitor. So that's why she was looking at us kind of funny when the background changed. She didn't understand.
We don't know. We have our own cyber attack happening, and it's happening from the person running our camera.
That's right. The hand. It's the hand attack.
So
you gonna close this?
Yeah, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. Look forward to seeing you guys next week. I'm glad I made it back safe so I could be with all you and hang out with my work friend,
That's
Todd.
Right. Wait. I have something exciting. You know what next week's episode is, right?
I have no idea what next.
It's Halloween.
Yeah, about that.
Yeah. You get to have twisting next week. It'll be great.
Yeah.
All right.
It's going to be trick or treat. I'm going to dress up as an Apple employee, so it's really a trick. Just kidding.
All right. Thanks for joining us. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. So we have to do